What is up, guys? It is almost the end of May. It's May 21st, I believe, May 22nd. It's pretty good weather today for mountain king snakes. I'm going to a mountain range that's in my home county that I surprisingly haven't herped yet, despite there being sightings of mountain king snakes up there. It's supposed to be in the low 70s while I'm up there. We got rain a couple days ago. There's a light breeze. I do wish there was a little bit more cloud coverage, but beggars can't be choosers. So today, and especially tomorrow, like I said, it's supposed to be good weather. So hopefully I'll find some stuff. And if not, I'm going on a Mountain King camping trip in 2 weeks with a couple friends. And then I'm going to do some just random sporadic herping around here between now and then. So let's get some stuff. Well, I finally found a spot to hike. It is a trail. A good portion of it, at least the beginning part, is in a burn area that has a lot of rocks. So I brought my gloves and my snake hook. Like I said in the last video, flipping for mountain king snakes is pretty fruitless. A lot of my friends who have flipped them say that, like, out of the 20 that they see, only one is flipped. So I don't really have any hopes for that, but it's mostly just for bycatch. I did flip a rock that had really good moisture, so maybe I could find a ringneck. I don't know if they're up this high. I'm currently at about 6,800 feet elevation, between that and 7,000. So yeah, pretty alpine scenery and geography, but the main goal is to just look in and around these rock clusters and like around these trees, see if I can't find mountain king snakes or Great Basin rattlesnakes just chilling. Both of those are pretty alpine adapted species that can be found upwards of 9,000 feet. So yeah, let's get it. So this is weird. I flipped this. This wasn't connected to this. There's no moisture seal under it whatsoever. And there's a dead Great Basin rattlesnake, at least what's left of one. Just a little one. I wonder if he crawled into the rock and then got stuck and then died. And other animals picked him off, but weird. Well, aside from a DOR whip snake and a DOR garter snake on my way back, I did not see anything while I was up there. Honestly, I don't mind. I think I'm going to try and head back to that spot again. It was really pretty, and there was some really nice mountain king habitat. So yeah, I will be hiking tomorrow for mountain kings. I might be hiking for Gila monsters, I'm not sure yet, but let's get it. Okay guys, it is the next day. I did go looking for Gila monsters this morning, albeit not very long. Didn't see anything, but it's a really nice overcast day. The weather's perfect. There's a little bit of precipitation in the air, so I'm going to try for mountain kings again. I'm in the same spot where I found the one last time. I tried looking, of course, yesterday, as you know, for a home county one, but I'm already supposed to be up here anyway, near here meeting some friends, so I figured why not try and find a king up here again. So let's get it. I don't blame you if you can't see it, but I just hiked up and spotted an in situ Great Basin rattlesnake. That's the first one I've seen on this trail, surprisingly. But yeah, I was just walking, I just happened to look down. It's about 15 feet away from me. And get some good pictures. I think this snake might be asleep. Snakes don't have eyelids, so it's kind of hard to tell, but I've not seen his tongue flick once while I've been here. So yeah, this is a really pretty one. I don't think I've ever seen a Great Basin rattlesnake this green. So I'm going to try my best not to disturb him while I take pictures. But yeah, pretty cool. Okay, as I was getting my camera out, he started getting out of his little spot and then rattling a little bit. Yeah, just like this. Nothing crazy, but I'm going to see if I can't get him to a more open part to get some pictures, and then I'll bring him back right here. Well, I tried to get as many photos as I could, but it's really hard to try and get my camera in this bush without risking being bit. I don't think this guy would. He's pretty content where he is right now. But like I said, I don't want to risk it. A couple other hikers walked by. I showed them the snake, and they thought it was pretty cool. I always try to, if I have a snake like on a trail, I always try to talk to people about it to show that they don't need to be afraid of snakes. And I'm glad I did, because those people thought this was very cool and they just went on their way. So yeah, good first find. Just caught and relocated California king snake for a friend. I released it into a pack rat den. There's a bunch of those out here. I've seen plenty of snakes and reptiles out here. I've made some videos out here, so this will be a good spot for it. It's also a conservation area, so there's no housing development or anything. So yeah, pretty good find. Okay guys, it is early June and the nighttime lows are finally in the 70s. And you know what that means. It is time to shine for scorpions again. I used to do this a lot more on the channel, especially when I first started. It's always a pastime I really enjoyed. And this hill has some really big ones, if you know where to look. Problem is, my luck, it always takes me like 20 minutes to find one, but after that I start finding them left and right. So I'm just walking to the spot where I went last year where I found a bunch. And yeah, let's get it. I was wondering when I would see my first one. This one's decent sized. But yeah, first one of the night. Well, I had to yoink him because he was about to go down a hole, but there's our first desert hairy scorpion of the night, Hedyrus arizonensis. This one is like an average size adult, I'd say. Probably about 4 inches, maybe 4.5 if he was fully stretched out. Probably 4. Yeah, I've seen a lot at this spot. Sometimes it's hit or miss. Last time I went scorpion hunting here last summer, I went with my friend. We shined or blacklighted probably about 20 of these guys. We saw a lot. A couple other times I went last year, I only saw like 2 or 3 of these guys. So really it's just hit or miss, but I'm glad I saw at least one while I'm up here. So yeah, very cool find. Just spotted our second friend. Chilling right here. This one's a little bit smaller. I'm just near the base of this creosote bush. One thing I have noticed when it comes to giant desert hairy scorpions is no matter where I find them, whether it be in Utah, whether it be in Arizona or Nevada, or even bits of California, they always seem to prefer to use creosote bushes as cover. I don't know what it is, but they just really enjoy creosote bushes. And this hill that I usually look on is just littered with them. So that's the reason why I enjoy looking here. But yeah, second desert hairy of the night. This one is a lot more defensive than that, ouch, than that other one. Thing about these guys is they use their claws or their pedipalps primarily as their weapon because they're such big scorpions. So if you just catch right on that little knuckle, their last knuckle before their stinger and venom sac, it can't move to sting you, but you just gotta latch onto that while he latches onto you with the claws like he's doing right now. But yeah, hopefully he will, just go right off. I've been stung by these guys a couple of times. First time I really got stung, I had a bit of an allergic reaction, but ever since then, it's much more akin to a bee sting, if even as bad of a bee sting as a bee sting. Definitely not as much as a wasp sting, but yeah, very cool. Scorpion number 2. Scorpion number 3 right here in between 2 creosote bushes. This one is a lot thicker. I think it is gravid, so I'm not gonna pick this one up, or at least not try and pinch it. Maybe I'll try and get it on my hand, but yeah, scorpion number 3. My hand for scale. It might not be gravid, but still, I don't want to risk it because this one is a little bit thicker than the other ones. Yeah, very cool. I knew that these guys were out here. I did not expect to find one. This is a long-nosed snake. And then right over here is our next desert hairy scorpion. It was only about 10 feet from the last one, and there's just this long-nosed snake just chilling. He is pooping and musking on me, and that is very disgusting. There he goes. Oh, it's so gross. But, oh well. I can clean my hand when I get back to my car. Yeah, very cool. Now let me grab the black light. And there's that scorpion right there. I was making my way back and I was wondering if I would see another one. And here we have number 5. This one's actually probably the smallest one of any of them tonight, but it's still a big scorpion. Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't seen like any like small to medium-sized desert hairies. They've all been adults. Yeah, this one's also the chillest. Yeah, very cool. Now here is a medium-sized scorpion. I can't tell exactly what species it is in the black light. If it is a yellow ground scorpion, it's probably the biggest I've ever seen, but I do think it's just a small desert hairy. I'll get my normal light. I was correct. It is just a juvenile desert hairy scorpion. Bigger than a baby, so probably, I don't even think it'd be last year's baby. Maybe 2 years ago. It's probably 2 inches long. There's the top of my boot for scale. I'll hold the flashlight, or attempt to. So I can put my hand next to it. Yeah. It's a cute little guy. Finally yoinked him. Just a juvenile desert hairy. Still has a pretty solid pinch. Not as painful as that other one, but still pretty solid. Yeah, this one's only probably about 2.5 inches long. Still pretty good. Still a good find though. One thing I noticed while walking back, and I've noticed this over the past couple of years as well, but it's just the effect that urbanization truly has on the environment. Because 3 years ago, almost none of these houses right here were here. They hadn't started construction right here. There's a bunch of construction equipment. And this spot right here by where I parked is just covered in creosote bushes. And I remember in the summer of 2023, I could walk out with a black light and like I couldn't walk 15 feet without seeing a desert hairy scorpion. And I remember I saw about 30 in a night one time in like the span of less than an hour just in this spot alone. But now I have to hike out there if I even really want to try and find some. And it's just crazy that the effect that urbanization has. Most people just assume it's with like endangered species or special species, stuff like that, or like mammals, but it really isn't. It really is everything. All the plants are becoming less suitable for scorpions and other animals to hide in. Scorpions haven't adapted, or desert hairy scorpions haven't adapted nearly as well as bark scorpions have to living in a residential environment. I mean, you can still find them, but I mean, this spot right here closest to the road where there used to be just dozens of scorpions, just now it's just a ghost town for them. And it's kind of sad, but I understand that humanity's growing, and I'm just glad that I appreciate all the creatures that I can see, even the ones that most people wouldn't technically love like others. But yeah, I'll get off my soapbox now. I think I'm gonna call it for this video. I leave tomorrow for a 4-day-long camping trip to look for mountain kings with some friends, so I'm gonna make a big video on that. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.